So Brother G, from Boston to Howard, from Howard to LA, from LA to literally around the world, from around the world back to LA, from LA down to Atlanta. It's a 20-year span.
Wow.
A lot of accomplishments, a lot of downfalls, a lot of pick myself back up and overcoming with greater tenacity the downfalls. And you're here, closing on a PhD. But I just want to ask you one thing, and this is, for the layman who's never done it. So you're walking on this campus, and I'm sure, there has to be people that recognize you, right? So you're not just a regular student, you're a student, but you're a little different, You're from a different world, and you're still there, so people can go on the radio and see it. They could be home studying for, a test or in the library, like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And, you know what I'm saying? So what does it feel like to be, an R&B, I'm going to say a post-R&B star from the era, but to walk on campus, have people see you? I remember your record, just to be, an individual who came from that world, unlike anybody else, and to be on campus with people and have them feel them recognize you, or them sitting in class. Like, I wonder, like, you ever been in class and someone's like, oh my God, are you that guy from?
Yeah.
Because they're looking at you. People see somebody looking at, I think that's him. So has that ever happened? People, you sit in class and people come to you, are you the guy from that group? I'm like, oh my God, like, has that ever happened?
Yeah, it happens a lot. It's funny because I'm never in that mindset when I'm on campus. I'm just me doing what I do. But people invariably recognize me, and then they'll speak on it and it trip me out. Like I taught a class the other day in a literacy clinic on critical literacy, and I'm doing my thing, and people in the class knew I was coming. My name was on the syllabus. But a few people came with 8x10s of my face and asked me to sign it afterwards. And I was like, whoa, that's great. They knew who I was. I had no idea. But that type of thing does happen, kind of like intermittently. And it trips me out every single time. It's like, that's crazy. But yeah, it just bugs me out every time. It's a weird, like my life is kind of surreal in those kinds of ways when that kind of stuff happens. Because in my mind, to exist in a certain space in a certain kind of way, in my mind, I got to be in it. And so when I'm like that, and then people hitting me, like dudes, I almost got to fights with dudes because they looking at me and I'm thinking they ice grilling me. I'm like, yo, what's up? And they were like, yo, you sing with that group? And I'm like, oh, that's right, he do recognize me. Like I gotta snap into that, like, oh yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? So it's I compartmentalize it, but other people don't. They just, that's Garfield. So it's funny, man. It's just a phenomenon. I'll never get used to it because it's just a trip. Because just the other day, it seemed like I was in front of a mirror singing with Darnell, like, yo, we gonna be in the singing group, and like that stuff actually happened to me. So it's so in a post phase of it, even though we still do shows quite regularly, yeah, that's just a part of life that just always trips me out, man. It's a funny thing. I know so many coming, but what's one blessing that came, just from experiencing that lifestyle early in your life, G, in your early 20s, just experiencing music and traveling and success and flashing lights and, everything that comes with the glamour and glitz of the entertainment and being in a hit group. What's one of your greatest, valued lessons learned? Man, well, I always was present in my mind knowing that this was a blessing as it was happening because, look, I got the chance to travel the world pretty much on my own terms. I didn't have to be in a military kind of context to go overseas and then risk my life in that way. I didn't have to be a civilian, not tethered to any kind of organization or cause. Just kind of trooping overseas and people kind of looking at me sideways. Like I was in the capacity of a group that I had a red carpet rolled out to it when I get there. I get to experience the finer things of that culture per my choice. Like on my own terms, I got to take in these places in the world that a lot of black people or people in general will never get to take in their lives. I got to ride the Concorde when it was out, the supersonic jet, each seat is like $10,000. And so it's just so many things that I got to do that was not normal, and I knew it wasn't normal in the moment. And I was thankful for that bird's eye view while I had it, you know what I mean? Because I knew it wasn't permanent. I always knew that. And I felt good about knowing that I was in like the bonus round of a video game. That's what I felt like I was in. So I knew at some point I had to get back into the regular part of the video game, but the bonus was good while it lasted.
Now, I want to say this, talk about it, because when Garfield in '90 and when we started out in college, Garfield always sang and his voice was always great. And what I love is the band in the back right now, we get an ambiance. But your voice, man, your voice has really got something happening. That was amazing. Just seeing the culture in the streets, the band, the young people walking up and down, providing a little background atmosphere. But I wanted to talk about, just the craft, G. Because I'm proud of you for one. I was always proud of you. I was proud of you when we was at Howard, when we were freshmen, sophomore, just the way you conducted yourself, the level of intellect and acuity that you possessed at an early age. And then, of course, going on to do your thing in music and traveling, remaining humble. I'm always a good dude, and then, but always respecting the craft and the art of singing. Never thinking that I was so dope. Never just knowing I'd have to practice. And when I listen to you, your music now, you were good then. You're great now. And I mean that. And I mean that. As your homeboy, if I didn't know you, you're great. When I say great, I'm talking about from the artistic. I listen to your notes. I listen to the riffs. And when you're hitting certain harmonies, and you hit each note like it's an individual step. Like it's an individual. So each one has its distinct personality.
Yeah.
It's clean. You know what I'm saying? And that is sweet. No matter how the riff is, no matter even a complex riff, you hit it, boom, 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 because it's like you can hear the concentration and focus without concentrating and focus, and that's because of 20 years of doing it.
I have to give props to Darnell though, because when I first got into Shy, Shy was already an entity. I kind of was just hanging around, Darnell in the fine arts room while they were practicing, because it was kind of like an Alpha Phi Alpha thing at first. And but D, when we got together, it's like in this mirror, always singing and practicing, listening to our heartbeats. Darnell would always make me aware of certain technical stuff, because Darnell's like a musical. This dude played the guitar, the piano, the drums, the trumpet. Like, he's the best kept secret in that way. But he's really a music technician. Like, he knows music, and he would point to certain things about other singers that were dope to him, like the cleanness of runs, like JoJo from Joe to See How Tone would. Like, a lot of stuff that he pointed out to me is stuff that I use to like get myself better over the years, like consciously. So I had to give him the props, of pointing me to holding my mouth a certain way to stay on, like, don't be flat or sharp, like certain things, like technical stuff, like coming into it just as a raw kind of a talent. I'm just going from my soul and from my heart. But when you start getting technical and understanding, just like, I don't know how many people look at boxing, but it's this dude named James Toney. No matter how fat James Toney would get or anything like that, how out of shape he was, his technical skills were so rooted in good technical merit that he could just fight. No matter how fat or little he was, he had those technical part wins. And so I got cued into that to mix that with my natural whatever ability was. And now I feel like in my own style, I developed a style that's mine, that I've kind of like, mastered a little bit.
Indeed, and it's represented in the music in an amazing way. I mean, your music is good, brother. I mean, it's rich. You can hear culture. You can hear there's different synthesis in it. It's really good, man. And I'm proud to be a part of witnessing it, of seeing it 20 years later. I'm proud that you respected your temple, which is your body, and your voice and your throat, and you didn't succumb to the drugs and the nonsense and the loopholes and the pitfalls that destroyed so many individuals in your same era.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of individuals that was hot in that era.
Man, I don't know. Thank God for that, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
My training, I guess, when I was with the Nation and different things, it kind of had an influence.
The structures you put in your life. It's the structures you put in your life before you got in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know?
That's true. And I ate a certain way. even as a young shorty, like when I probably didn't have to, like when I was at the height of my health, I was still, you know, eating 1 meal a day and, you know, not eating too much meat when I did eat meat. I ain't ate meat since I was like 17, like beef and pork. Like, you know, I cut that out since like 17 years old. Thank you, Ayana Gregory. And, you know, just like I did kind of take care of myself. But the whole shy thing was such a blur of time. Like to have that as your everyday mode of existence, it's like the deadlines of Monday through Friday-ness or weekendness didn't apply to me. Like every day was like a Saturday in terms of just, my deadlines were album specific. Like when are you releasing the next album? So my life is structured around from one release to the next release. So every part in between, which is a big womb of creative processiness, and I lived in that. So days that passed by didn't feel like days passing by to me in that moment of my life. It just, like, weeks would pass by and it would feel like a couple of days to me. Like I was writing a song, that's all I was worried about. You know, like 5 days of that was like, okay, the song's finished now. I didn't think about how many days, you know. So I didn't gauge that definitive time passing thing for a long time in my life. And I think that kept me kind of like young at spirit and young at heart. Because to me, 20 years didn't go past like it actually did when I look up. I didn't feel that happening. But it happened. So I'm like 20 years later, yeah, I'm here to. But in my own field, in my own mind, it didn't feel like I trudged through 20 years and now I'm 20 years. I didn't feel like, it felt like really like 10 years. But I got to accept the fact that, damn, it is 20 years, 20-something years.
Yeah.
So I think that the way you look at time also kind of like, you know, preserves you. And if you were in a situation that would allow you to look at time with not being connected to it as much as possible, then you could probably, like, you know, not age as much.
I concur. I'm 47 years old. I'll be 48 this year. You're 46. You'll be 47 years old. We're 2 and 3 years away from 2 and 3 years, respectively, away from 50 years old. It's a beautiful thing.
This dude right
Black
here.
is beautiful, man.
New York tight.
we out here, you know, Urban Wall Street on location. Spotlight my brother Garfield Bright, Dr. Garfield Bright, class of 2017, Georgia State University campus. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Hey, man.
Black Excellence, the Black Excellence Tour.
Yo, information is physical.
Information is physical. Remember that.